Hello, welcome. My name is Becky and I am with Win in Life and Business. I'm your business strategist. Welcome to the 5-day challenge on how to get a full day book in the next 21 days. Oh my gosh, today is day 1 and we are focusing on how to get out of our comfort zone and what our comfort zone is. We've got a lot to unravel, so grab a notebook and a pen. You're going to want to write this stuff down. Before we get started, I want to go ahead and introduce myself because some of you don't know who I am, so I want to give you a little bit of background because you're probably thinking, who is this chick and why does she think she has what it takes to tell me how to run my business? So, my name is Becky. I'm a business strategist and I've been helping people excel and move their businesses forward for almost 25 years. It will be my 25th anniversary of being an independent business owner on December 6th. So I'm excited to tell you that I have been there. I have pounded the pavement. I have been there before social media when everything was in a giant thing called a yellow book. I have been there. I have done that. I have done the book, sell, recruit for direct sales, multi-level marketing companies. I have been there, done that, starting my own business out of my basement and moving it forward into many different places. I have been there. I have worked with businesses that are mom and pop shops. I've worked with bakeries. I've worked with photographers. I've worked with multi-millionaire printing companies. I've worked with all kinds of people to propel their business forward, whether it's income producing activities, marketing strategies, social media marketing, customer service, developing an employee handbook, you name it. I have done it and I absolutely love that. Some people will say, well, what businesses do you work with? And quite frankly, I work with them all, and I love the versatility. I love that I can be working with a mom and pop diner and jump into a business that has 250 employees. I love the versatility. I never get bored then. I love being able to have those aha moments with people and work with people individually. So I'm excited to see you move forward in your journey and get out of that stuck mode. Let's talk about how I came up with the Unstuck group. Have you ever felt like you're stuck in a puddle of funk? Like you're literally stuck. You feel like you're stuck in a mud puddle and you can't get out of it. You just can't get out of it. There is nothing that you can do that is actually going to move you forward. You feel like you're stuck in like quicksand, right? Well, that's how a lot of people feel in their businesses right before they're ready to just jump forward and move in their journey and see results. And that's what I'm hoping that we can do here just on day 1, right off the bat. Let's get you out of that comfort zone and let's find out what's holding you back. Let's get down to the nitty-gritty and get your shoes out of the big puddle of funk and get you moving forward, focused in your business and ready to go. All right, so let's get started. Some of you have received your homework, some of you haven't. I'm going to send it out again in an email here today. You'll be getting day 1 and day 2 all at the same time with homework, but today's homework is 3 pages long for day 1. It's 3 pages and I really want you to digest it. Before you jump into day 2's homework, I really want you to focus on today, all right? This isn't meant to be a crash course where you do all 5 days on one day. This is not what it's meant to be. It's meant for you to be able to take in, digest, think and pray, and then move on. That is what this course is meant to do. It is not something that you want to take and zoom out in 5 hours. It's something you want to take in, breathe in, digest, and pray out. All right? That's what it is. So let's talk about it. So day 1, we're talking about how we feel talking to other people about our business, about ourselves, about anything. What is our comfort zone? All right, so let's just dive into that right now. I want to ask you, what is your comfort zone when it comes to talking to other people? What's your comfort zone? You know, a lot of the feedback that I got last night on the Go Live was that a lot of people feel comfortable talking to their friends. They feel comfortable talking to their family. Well, that's true, but I will guarantee you that those people weren't in your life at some time. Your mom and dad were, absolutely. But your friends are somebody that you have made. So let's talk about that comfort zone. How did you make that friend? Did you start the conversation? Did somebody else introduce you to that conversation? What started that conversation? And if you were introduced by someone else, who continued the conversation when that person walked away? Did you walk away with that person? How are you communicating? What is your comfort zone? My point is that our friends once weren't our friends, and we had to develop a relationship with those people. And yes, I know it's fun to stay within your friends and family. It's a comfort zone, but I also know that you will make more friends by talking to more people, and you'll get more referrals by talking to more people, and you'll get more clients by talking to more people. But we have to be real strategic with that, all right? So let's think about it. First, what is our comfort zone? And what makes you feel comfortable? Is it the clothes you wear? Is it the space you're in? Is it the drink you're holding? What is it that fulfills that comfort zone? I want you to think about all of those things, because those are tools that you're going to need in order to be successful jumping out of your comfort zone and talking to new people. You're going to need those tools, like that cup of coffee or that bag or those clothes, or perhaps maybe it's a wingman or a wingwoman. You're going to need those tools in order to succeed forward, to build your self-confidence, to build your self-esteem, and to keep doing it as you go. All right. One person said last night in the Go Live, one of the things that they need is more self-confidence in order to step out of their comfort zone. Okay, all right. So let me just tell you, I think self-confidence is a giant circle. And let me tell you why I think it's a giant circle. First off, I think it's a giant circle is because self-confidence breeds self-esteem, and self-esteem and self-confidence are fueled by actually being successful at the things you fear. So if you're scared of going and finding new clients, and every time you find a new client, you feel more self-confidence and you have more self-esteem, so therefore you go out and do it. The problem lies when we lead our business like a roller coaster, where we go up, we're self-esteem, our self-confidence is good, we got a new client, and we're excited, whoosh, then it drops, right? And now we're like, oh my gosh, I gotta rebuild. Click, 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 like that sound on a roller coaster, click, 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 and the anxiety builds and the anxiety builds. Whee! We got a new customer, and we go back down. And we go up and down. If we were just to ride nice and slow and steady, well, self-confidence and self-esteem would be up here. Another thing that I talked about last night was my personal journey and how I built my self-confidence and my self-esteem by providing myself more education. All right. So sometimes more self-confidence and more self-esteem comes with more education. Let me explain. I have 7 different degrees. 5 of them I do not use. In fact, let them expire. I used to be a nurse. I had 5 different degrees in the medical field. And my last employer looked at me and said that we need to picture every single person as if they walk in here with a $ on their forehead. I immediately gave my 2 weeks and left. All right. If people are just another number, that's not what I went into the medical field for. I went into the medical field to help. So I immediately went back to business and went back to what I knew. And it was direct sales at that time. Book, sell, recruit, book, sell, recruit. That put me through school. I had over 875 people that I had recruited, and I was at the top 2% of my company. I loved what I did. And yet I still felt like I was missing a piece of the puzzle. So I went back to school for business management and development, and I was teaching, and someone had said to me, Becky, you could help so many more people if you would just do this independently instead of with company X. What? She said what to me? Like, I thought she was my friend. I can't believe she had such ill advice. I mean, I'm driving a company car. I have health insurance, life insurance, car insurance. I have a steady income every single month. Why on God's green earth would she suggest I leave? It really torqued me, you guys. It really torqued me. I was so livid. I didn't talk to her for a while. And then I decided to sit and pray on it. And 6 months later, I found myself leaving the company. And I absolutely have no regrets. I work for myself and I help propel people forward in so many different businesses instead of just with Company X. And that happened 11 years ago, and I wouldn't change it for the world. I absolutely love being able to work independently and help people in all aspects of their career. But what was it for me? I needed the self-esteem and the self-confidence by providing myself with more education, with more training. And that's when I went back to school. So if you feel that maybe your self-confidence is lacking because you need more knowledge in a certain area of your field, maybe it's media, maybe it's more training to learn your technique better, whatever it is, and I'd be willing to help you, reach out and message me. I would really be willing to help you work through what you think that you're missing most to help propel you forward in your career. So like I said, self-confidence can be because of your lack of knowledge, or it can be your lack of success. And that's something that we have to divvy down. So think about that. Is that something in your comfort zone that's hindering you? Is it your knowledge or your lack of success? Because that will help you build your self-confidence and your self-esteem. All right, let's move forward. The next thing I want to tell you is sometimes in order to get out of our comfort zone, we need to experience some type of discomfort. Let me explain. A lot of people in 2008, 2009, when our economy was, right, they experienced a discomfort, and some people took the initiative to find new employment before they got canned. And some people waited until they were standing in the unemployment line and now needed to move. They had a discomfortable feeling. So that's my question for you. Are you comfortable where you're at? Are you a little too comfortable relying on another full-time job income or relying on your husband's income? Are you uncomfortable and you need to move? Do you need to make yourself a little bit uncomfortable, like buying a new washer or dryer or getting a car to have a down payment, a payment that you have to make every single month? What is it that's going to make you uncomfortable to move quickly? What is that? Are you going to give yourself a deadline? Are you going to have an accountability partner? And I'm not talking your husband or your best friend, because listen, my best friend, she cannot be my accountability partner when it comes to losing weight, because she will let me eat the entire bag of Oreos. Like, no problem. She loves me no matter what. So she's not my accountability partner now, is she? All right. So you got to find somebody who's going to actually make you accountable and that that you'll be letting down. Let me tell you a discomfort that I experienced. And I'm telling you this because I'm hoping it'll help you move forward in your business and get unstuck. You see, when I started on my own 11 years ago, my family did not believe in me. In fact, I had an aunt tell me, who the hell did I think I was, actually telling other people what to do? Well, there goes my self-esteem. I had my mother and my father didn't believe that I had a full-time job. This wasn't real work. I was a stay-at-home mom, and I was just at their beck and call anytime that they would ask, right? So I needed to prove to my family that this was actually my income. Like, this was going to work. And if it didn't, you guys, I was going to have to go punch a time clock for somebody else. Like, this was legit. The company literally came to my driveway with a semi and picked up the car that I was driving for free from the previous company. And that was my, oh my gosh, what have I done? I got to make this happen. And I got to make it happen fast. That was my aha moment. And that was put me in an uncomfortable position and to propel me forward. So I needed to prove to myself and to my family that I could pay. At that time, we had 2 houses, 2 car payments, 2 house payments, 2 electricity bills, 2 water, 2 sewers, and on and so forth. So that meant I had to work to prove that I could do this. So who are you willing to prove? Who are you willing to prove it to? Are you willing to prove it to yourself? Are you willing to prove it to others? Are you ready to be uncomfortable for a short-term sacrifice to hit a long-term goal? Are you ready to propel yourself forward in your business? To be a little bit uncomfortable until your self-confidence and your self-esteem improves so you're not uncomfortable? All right, let's talk about that. So what are things that you need to do to move you ahead in your business? Some of the things that we heard last night on the call were, I need to be more consistent. I need to be more consistent. Yeah, absolutely. Remember that steady roller coaster. We need that steady roller coaster, not the up and down roller coaster. We need that steadiness. Are you ready to move your business forward by being consistent? Another person said, I can't rely on my other job, or I can't rely on others. You're right. It's up to you. If it's meant to be, it's up to you, right? Another one said, I need to have a plan. I need to develop a plan. Absolutely. You need to have a plan. You need to know what you need to do every day to be successful. What does that look like to you? I want you to write it down in this section here. What is it that you need to do to be proactive versus reactive? What do you need to do? All right. Number 3 that we're talking about here is, what's one thing that holds you back from talking to people you don't know? What's one thing that holds you back from talking to people that you don't know? I think a lot of people had said they're afraid of no. They're afraid of the no's. Honestly, I've never been told no before and it hurt. Like emotionally, but you got to take yourself out of it. Listen, if someone's telling you no, it's not about you. It may not even be about your product. Maybe they just had a bad day. Maybe they've had a bad experience somewhere else in life and they might be taking it out on you. No means next. Some will, some won't. So what? Next, right? Move on, move forward. Focused on your business, all right? So don't be afraid of the no's. In fact, we just in WIN had a 100 no's challenge and we tried to see how many no's we could get. How about playing it like a game? And this is what I suggest. I suggest you going out and meeting new people and playing it like a game. So remember when I said that someone said that everybody was just another number and we needed a picture, every single person as if they had a dollar sign on their forehead? Well, I disagree with that statement because I really feel like everyone needs to be treated as a human being and every single one of your customers needs to feel special. I will also say that if it's truly just a numbers game, then let's make it a game. Let's make it a game. How many of you guys like board games? Anybody like board games or card games? I challenge you to go to the dollar store and buy a deck of cards. You see, there's 52 cards in a deck. And out of those 52 cards, 12 of them are face cards. That means out of those 52 cards in a deck, 12 are face cards. That means 12 yeses. 12 yeses. And if you play it like a game, you will run out of cards. And then you'll have to go to the dollar store and buy more cards. Let me give you an example. You meet a Diane, and Diane decides to hold an appointment with you. Now you schedule Diane for an appointment. You're going to write Diane's name on a face card. You're going to dial again. You're going to dial for dollars, right? You're going to dial or you're going to text or whatever you're going to do. You're going to reach out again, and the next person that says yes, you're going to write their name on a face card. For every no, you write that on a non-face card. So a number 8, a number 9, a number 10. All of those no's, their names get wrote on there. All of the yeses get wrote on the face cards. Eventually, you'll have gone through the whole deck and you'll have 12 successes. You guys, that's what it is. You go through the deck, you go buy another deck. Look at it as a game. Some will, some won't. So what? Next, moving on, right? Look at it as a game. Don't take it so personally, all right? Let's talk about making it personal. What bad things can happen? By talking to strangers and asking for new people, asking for those referrals, asking for those people that you talk to at vendor events, exhibitors, networking opportunities, what bad things happen when you talk to strangers? Well, we talked about it last night. They say no, right? They say no. What we just said, does a no really hurt? Like, it doesn't make me bleed, okay? I don't lose an arm or any other limb. So a no isn't really that bad, you guys. In fact, a no helps me learn how to communicate better. Maybe it teaches me how to take a different approach. Maybe it teaches me how to talk to somebody differently, or how to use different verbs, or actually a whole different dialogue. Maybe it just teaches me that she's not a good fit for me as a client because we have different personalities. And that's okay. We don't have to jive with every single person that we come into contact with. That is okay. And we have to realize that. We also have to realize that sometimes no is a phew moment. It's a phew moment because you know what? Perhaps we didn't want to chase after them anyways, right? Sometimes we can focus more on chasing one person down while we let 40 more go by. Truly, we did. We were so focused on that one person that we let 40 others go by. Stop. What bad things can happen from no's? I want you to write down all of those things that you think are bad things that can happen from no's. What good things can happen when we talk to strangers? What good things can happen when we talk to strangers? Well, I don't know about you, but I remember the elementary school playground. And the elementary school playground was where I made my friends. I still have the same friends from elementary school. And I love that. How I met them was I just went up and started talking to them. And we're friends. Just a decade later. Shh. We're still friends. That's what good can happen, is you develop a friendship. How about you develop a client? You develop a satisfied client who continues to reorder from you. You develop a client who likes to host with you. You develop a networking coordinator who likes to coordinate events for you. You develop someone who wants to be on your team. You develop someone who refers oodles and noodles of people to you. Those are the good things that happen. So my friends, what I'm telling you is the good far outweighs the bad. Far outweighs the bad. All right, so what are 6 key identifiers that we should get every time we talk to strangers? What are 6 key identifiers that we need to get? I am a big no-no of just handing out business cards and walking away, or leaving literature on a table somewhere. You might as well just go throw it in the trash yourself. Honestly, you're wasting your money and you're wasting your time. All right? So where are we going to set these items? We're going to set them in people's hands. Like, seriously, my hand to your hand. That's what we're doing. We're setting them in their hands. And we're asking for key identifiers. Those key identifiers that we're asking for are as follows: name, email, phone number. We're giving them a sample. We're providing them information. Or we're asking for an opinion. We're asking how to contact them. How would they prefer us to contact them? Text, phone, or email? And then the most important identifier, the follow-up. Yep, I said it. It's the FU of business. Nobody likes to do it. It is the FU of business. People put it off and 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 put it off until it's so far gone they're like, forget it, I don't even have to do it anymore because it's too late now. Right? Any of you out there that have done a vendor event or an exhibitor event, or you've been to a networking event and you've held on to those cards for so long that now it's been 3, 6, 9 months, heck, maybe even 3 years. And you're like, well, it's too late for me to call now, so I'm not gonna. follow up. Follow up is key. And my friends, following up within 24 to 48 hours is vital to your business. It is so vital to your business. When you meet someone, you need to follow up with them within 24 to 48 hours. And I am not talking 24 to 48 hours in business hours, Monday through Friday. I am saying like literally 24 to 48 hours. So if you meet them on a Friday, you ain't calling on Monday, you're calling on Saturday. Or you're calling on Sunday, or you're texting, or you're emailing, however they have declared that they want you to communicate with them, that is what you're doing. That is what you're doing. Not on Monday morning when you're back in the office. It is literally 24 to 48 hours. Like, it's like an antibiotic. It's like a shot, you guys. If you don't do it, it's vital to your business. You don't want them creeping out somewhere else, going shopping on Amazon, Etsy, or anything else they can do, or find their own consultant because you didn't call them. You don't want them trotting down to Main Street in their town because you live to an adjacent town. You need to be on that follow-up. Let me tell you how follow-ups are so important. I taught a class to a customer of mine who I talked to yesterday. And she had called me and said, you know what, I'm so grateful of your follow-up course because Becky, it has made a world of difference. I have to tell you again, it happened again on Sunday night. Sunday night, my husband and I were watching TV, and then all of a sudden, I get a ding on my phone, and it said that I had a customer just order $510. And I thought, what in the world? How could a customer have possibly ordered this? She went out, she looked at her back end of her company, and turns out, yeah, it's somebody that she'd been following up with for 3 years. She had been following up with that person for 3 years. They moved, they're in a new home, and she said she just needed to start over and get all new everythings. And she said, that's not the first time that's happened. It's happened multiple times. I've had $300, $500, $800 orders, and it's all because I follow up. Now, that doesn't mean you have to be following up on a phone call. You can be following up in an email. You can be following up with text messaging. You can do a project broadcast and text all of your customers every 8 weeks. Whatever floats your boat. But listen, you guys, follow up is key. It is vital to your business. I mean, seriously, unless you want to keep using the defibrillator all the time on your business with that up and down roller coaster, follow-ups make it nice and steady. Follow-ups are key. That's one of the 6 key identifiers. So let me rephrase those 6 key identifiers because it's on your homework. Name, business, sample, information or opinion, whichever you're gathering, phone number, how they want to be contacted, whether that's phone, text, or email, and then that follow-up within 24 to 48 hours, okay? Vital. And then lastly, our final and last page, page 3. I think one of the things that I hear the most is how I don't know what to say. When I talk to strangers, I just don't know what to say. I become tongue-tied, my self-confidence drinks in, my self-esteem goes in, and I'm bye-bye, I run away. Run away. That's one of your homework assignments today, is to declare ownership and create a dialogue. Now, I could definitely tell you a dialogue, but it's going to come off in Beckyism. It's going to come off with me. And my personality is far different than anybody else's personality. I'm kind of quirky, kind of weird. I think I'm funny. Sometimes I'm not. Bottom line, I want it to be you. It has to be your personality. It has to be your words. You have to declare ownership in your own dialogue. But there's a couple of key facts when you are talking dialogue with people. The first fact when you're talking dialogue with people is you want to explain who you are and what company you're with. You want to ask, what are you looking for? Are you looking to schedule an appointment? Because we're talking about getting 21 days to a full date book, right? So you're asking for an appointment, but what type of appointment are you asking for? And be specific and letting them know how long it will take. People's time is money right now, so the least amount of time that you can spend with them and make them feel valid and valued and that you honor their time commitment, the better off you are. So even if you can get in front of them for a short time span, don't even think about parties, you direct sales companies. I want you to get in front of them for a short period of time to introduce yourself, to develop a trust system. and then you can go and have a party with them afterwards. That would be like a second appointment. But seriously, introduce yourself and your products. Give them some love. Show them that you are a woman or a man that takes your business seriously and that you pride yourself on ethics and integrity. And then they will actually want to invite their friends for referrals to you. But you've got to prove it to them first. Do you understand that? You have to prove that to them first. And then you can take the next step. So first off, tell them in your dialogue who you are, what company you're with, and what you're looking for, how long it's going to take, and what value do you have to give them. What's in it for them? We all walk around a what's in it for me world right now. What's in it for them? Why do they want to take 30 to 45 minutes to an hour and a half out of their time of day, away from their family, away from their wine, and come and hang out with you? Why? Give them one good reason, and it better be a good one, and then schedule it. Always give choices. Give choices of days, either blank or blank. Don't ever say, so you want to? Because what's the first word we learn as children? No. No. No is the first word we learn. So you're not giving them the opportunity of a yes-no question. You're asking them, what day of the week works better? Beginning of the week or the end of the week? You're asking them, what day works better? Tuesday or Thursday? You're asking them what time, afternoon or evening. You're asking them, you're giving them choices. And that should be in your dialogue as well. Let them know that you can count on them, and boy, I hope they can count on you. Let them know that you take this business seriously and that you will be there, rain or shine, snow or shovel. You will be there. Let them know that you take it seriously, and that if you have a 24-hour cancellation policy, that you let them know that you have a 24-hour cancellation policy. You let them know. You need to let them know how serious you take your business. And the more you tell them how serious you take your business, the more seriously they'll take you. All right? So that's what I've got for you today. We're thinking about our comfort zone, what makes us feel comfortable, and what we need to do to make ourselves uncomfortable enough to get out of the puddle of funk we are in right now and move forward focused on our business. Come up with that dialogue, and I will see you on day 2. Have a great one.